Hey everyone, what's up? It's Urban Libertarian here, and I wanted to get into the whole Trump-Paris agreement climate change deal here. And if I have time, I want to talk about Hillary. She's gone off her rockers with her crazy conspiracy theories. She's so bitter. But yeah, so this morning I woke up and the news was that Trump was definitely not going to sign the agreement. And of course, the news was shitting itself, freaking out. Oh my God, especially CNN. Oh my God, what does this? The world is, where it's us against the world. They compared us. They said, oh, we're in the same category as uh, it's kind of funny. They actually, I swear, they said the only two. They said we're the only two other countries that didn't want to sign the deal were what the hell? They said North Korea and Syria or something like that. And then I don't know if you actually look at the Daily Mail online. They talk about what is the Paris Agreement. It's basically an agreement to stifle any production. And look, if you're watching this video and you made it this far and you believe that climate change is real, look, since the 70s, if not before, go look back. Time magazine was saying that watch out, we have to have global cooling, right? Then we had global warming in the 80s and 90s, and then that they couldn't prove that, and then now we have climate change, and it's all on the basis that man is creating carbon dioxide. Now, don't get me wrong. Like, are we fucking the planet up? Yes, obviously. Like, just here in LA, we've got a gas leak. That we have a democratically run city, county, state, everything, and they didn't put in some kind of gas valve that they should have put in the 70s because they were just fucking cheap cunts, I guess. I don't know. And they say they care about the environment, but obviously they don't. People are getting a bunch of cancer. But anyway, over here in the valley in LA, people are getting cancer and dying because of this gas leak. But anyway, my point is that they don't want us to. The whole climate change thing is it's bullshit. Okay, and they want to focus on man-made causes, and it's the climate's always changing. I mean, it's just like the dumbest shit, right? Like, obviously we want the climate not to change, and they want to like basically tax carbon, and they want to make it a pollutant. And you got to think about it. You exhale carbon dioxide, for fuck's sake. You don't want to make your breathing considered a toxic gas and then get taxed by it. Everything's going to make carbon in production in society, right? So a lot of people see it and they're like, no, we don't want that. It's failed miserably. If you look at Germany and Spain, they've tried it and it's not working. It's expensive and it's not reliable. Now in California, yeah, especially around here, you're in the desert. It makes sense to have solar power in your house. I'm totally for that. We should be moving towards that kind of stuff where it makes sense. Obviously, like not in Chicago. Maybe I guess you do some wind power, but you can't do it all alone. You can't there's no way you're going to have the same amount. Look, the same people that cry about, oh, we need to save the earth and everything, right? I bet you play with your iPhone all the time. Think about all the energy it costs in carbon dioxide to get your phone. And you probably shop if you're a woman. Probably buy a bunch of fucking clothes, right? All the carbon energy. See where we're going? So if you're serious about it, then you need to just live off the grid. And there are people that get crazy hippies, and that's cool too if you want to do that. That's awesome. But as a whole society, it's not going to work if everybody just goes off grid or we get taxed the shit out of for any kind of means of, any production. It's done. And that's why my point is that, look, the countries, so that's what it is, right? Here's the countries who aren't in, right? And so, yeah, I guess technically, what is it, North Korea and all these like shitty countries aren't part of it. But look, where is it? Switzerland? That's not that bad of a country. Turkey, they're in fucking NATO. San Marino, isn't that like a decent country? But, obviously you got like Myanmar, Montenegro. Liechtenstein's not down. But if you look at a lot of these countries, they're poor countries and they know it's going to fuck up their economy. It's not going to work. So, look, if you really think this stuff's true, fine. But the problem is with the quote unquote Bill Nye the Science Guy climate science, they disregard the sun, right? And yes, there's lots of pollution, like I was just getting at, with even natural gas, which is supposed to be the safer alternative. We had a huge gas leak here in Southern California, and a bunch of people are getting fucking cancer and getting sick from it. And who knows how long that's going to go, right? Then you look at nuclear. Well, a lot of people don't realize that we had the biggest nuclear meltdown in the United States. They think it's 3 Mile Island. Wrong, it's not. It's actually out here in the valley. It was the Santa Susana reactor. There's a lot of radiation in the valley, old radiation, and weird chemicals and stuff. That one just gets classified because it's not the worst commercial nuclear disaster. It was a experimental reactor. But anyway, we had a reactor here, and they had like a mini meltdown or something. I forgot what it was called. But it basically melted down here on near Los Angeles. And a lot of people don't even know about that shit, right? So that's obviously not a solution. And wind and solar and all that stuff, yeah, that's cool. And I see a lot of those hydrogen cars. That's cool. Go for it. But you can't force countries to cut their carbon. It's like cutting your life, man. That's just production, dude. You can't do that. So these countries knew that they would be screwed, you know? Come on, yes, because in Libya, they're all going to have, and they should have solar panels and shit like that, but they're not going to have all this like expensive horseshit green energy carbon tax bullshit that we got to pay to Al Gore. You know, Eritrea, Haiti, come on, the Clintons already fucking raped Haiti and the UN. So, I hope that, in conclusion, I hope that Trump keeps his promise and he does not sign it. And it's funny because the media's just like, it's the end of the world. It's us against the world. But you know what? Isn't the United States known for that? We're this country that's known to have balls and just to go in alone and do what's right. Like, shit, gun ownership's one of the rare. It's rare. Most countries don't allow the kind of gun ownership that we have. Does that mean we should change it? Fuck no. That's what makes it one of the things that make this country great. You know, so climate change is bullshit. Like, you got to get that out of your head. Like, that is just, it's a scam. Look at ClimateGate that happened at East Anglia University a long time ago. Look, they measure a lot of these measurements on like tarmacs and stuff. And the reason that, yeah, like it's all corruption. The reason that they say all these scientists agree, which isn't true, is that, yeah, a lot of university and research scientists, they have to get their funding. So they have to basically produce what the funders want. So they're not going to bite the hands that feed them. They're not going to go kill the damn goose that's shitting the golden egg, right? So, I mean, how about this? If you really think it's, I don't know, go ask a climatologist. Go ask somebody who studies like space weather, and ask them, does the sun have anything to do with the Earth's climate? And they're going to say yes, right? And then ask yourself, why does any major like climate change study that talks about humans are the only cause of this alleged change that's supposed to happen anyway, right? That they always leave the sun out. Okay, and you got to factor that in. So it's just bullshit. So thank God we didn't sign it. I don't know. Well, hopefully Trump keeps his word, right? Hopefully he didn't sign it. And then Hillary. Let's get to Hillary. Oh my goodness, she keeps going with this shit. Hillary launches astonishing conspiracy claim that Trump won the election because he colluded with 1,000 Russian agents who filled Facebook with lies and Twitter with bots. Oh my God. I mean, you could watch the whole thing. She was speaking at some tech conference, and she was, like blaming Comey and the Russians and all this shit. And it's not even true. Like, dude, we're going to look back years from now. Mark my words. That's the one thing I'm glad I'm recording this. We're going to look back years from now. She'll probably be in jail. And we're going to look back and go, wow, like, how did we buy it? Like, everybody was just totally, what do you call it? Like not mass hysteria, but like mass hypnosis into just propagandized, if that's even a word, into believing into this whole Russian thing, you know, because it's just bullshit. We already know about the whole Seth Rich thing. He's obviously the Russians. This is just, it's just, you know, it's smart. The Russian thing's smart on the campaign on the Democrats and Hillary. And actually, I think the Democrats are going to throw her under the bus finally because she's just too wacky and She's out of her fucking mind. They're gonna have to do something about it, because there's no way that she's gonna lead with all her coughing and conspiracy theories. There's no way she's gonna lead to the 2020 elections. There's fucking no way. She can't even, like, even people who like her are probably thinking in their mind, like, bitch, you gotta, like, realize that, like, you just didn't win because you sucked. You know, you didn't do the right things. You didn't go to the Rust Belt. You didn't do any of that shit. You know, and she just was pissed off, and she's so bitter about it. It's astonishing. It's really astonishing. And here they're talking about the fake Twitter's accounts, and oh, that's another thing I wanted. The whole Twitter thing where Trump fell asleep and everything. Honestly, I think he did it to troll everybody, just to fucking troll everybody. Whatever that thing he put at the end. But yeah, Hillary was just going on and on. She was just going on and on saying that, like, everybody's against her, and it's like, dude, you're the one that put that whole stupid, like, it's honestly, it's like a criminal who, like, got caught, but luckily for her didn't get convicted, but she, like, lost something, right? And then she blames everybody for, like, investigating her crimes and saying, well, if they wouldn't have exposed my crimes. I mean, that's the whole thing we don't talk about, was what was in her emails. Nobody talks about that. We just talk about how some fake conspiracy, how they were stolen. Anyway, I'm done. Leave me some comments. That'd be awesome. Thanks for watching.